Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So I thought it would be fun to do an old school Q&A. I went on Instagram, had you guys ask me anything that's on your mind. It's been so long since I've done one of these. I wanted to do another green makeup look and I am so happy with this look. This is like the perfect holiday look. It's also very fall-esque as well, but like this for a holiday party, oh, I love this look. So I don't really walk you through all of the steps on how I create this. I'll link all my products down below because I just got to rambling and just chatting and answering any questions that you guys had. So this was very last minute, very impromptu. So we can do more of these if you want, and I can give you guys more time to ask me more questions because this was just like all the questions that I could answer within the hour of me posting that. So hope you guys like this. I'm going to show you how I got it, answer some questions, and just hang out and do makeup. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe and let's get started. Okay, let me open up Instagram. Some of the questions were like pretty personal. I'm a very private person, so I do my best to share, but like some things it's like I'm not about to share some of this stuff, but I'll share some things. I'm gonna quick prime using the Vanish primer from Hourglass. So first question, are you going to read It Starts With Us? Yes, I am. So if you are unfamiliar with Colleen Hoover books, she has a very popular book called It Ends With Us. I read it back in, I think it was in the winter, like January of this last year. And then as soon as I got done with it, I saw that she was coming out with It Starts With Us, which is like the sequel to the book. And I pre-ordered it right away. And then I forgot that the book even existed, and it just showed up on my doorstep because I pre-ordered it, which was nice. So yes, I am going to read it, long story short, but I just have another book. My friend Amanda gave me The Butterfly Garden, and I just still haven't read it yet. I am bringing that with me this weekend, so hopefully I can at least get started on it. It's really not that big. I just need to like set aside some time to just sit and do nothing because I have been just really enjoying like staying busy and working and stuff that I just haven't given myself much time to just sit, relax, and zone out and read a book. So it has been like, I think since August, beginning of August or end of July, since I've read a book. So yes, I do really want to read that. I almost want to read It Ends With Us again, just to like have some perspective and remember like what happened, because I feel like I just don't remember much from it. I remember the gist of it, but yeah. So long story short, and 10 minutes later, yes, I will be reading that book. How do you handle negative comments and people and have confidence to keep making videos? I feel like that one's kind of a tricky one. There's a hair stuck to me somewhere. Hold on. I do better and worse with it at some points. I feel like I just go through phases. Right now, I honestly, I just don't even give them any of my attention. And I truly think that that is just the way to go. There are so many, not so many, because I feel like a lot of influencers or creators end up adopting this sort of thing of just like ignoring it and pretend it doesn't exist, because honestly, the more you give your energy to those comments, it literally fuels the fire. So there's one person I used to follow closely who literally every day or every week, and now I feel like it's at least once a month, they still do this where they like call out the negative comments and like, listen, the negative comments that are being said to this person is just like so uncalled for. It's so messed up and so mean. But by giving light to these comments and giving them a platform makes these people want to say mean things more. And also it's going to attract other people, because if you give attention to people that say negative things and you put them on blast on social media, you're literally egging those people on, because those people, anybody that leaves a negative comment in the first place is hurt. I don't know anybody who's like living their life in a positive way, loves themselves and loves life and is happy and in a good mindset. I don't know anybody like that that's like, let me go troll somebody on the internet. No, the people that are trolling online are sad individuals who are going through something, truly. Like, I just don't know anybody that's in a good place that is doing that. So I think remembering that, and then just knowing like if you give your attention to stuff like that, like you are going to attract it more, because now those people will be like, oh, that really got her, let me get her again. Or, ooh, that person got her, wait till she hears what I say. That's the mindset of those kind of people. So I think just truly understanding that like that's really how those people operate, and I kind of just feel bad for those people. So obviously it's easier said than done. Sometimes people say stuff and it's just like why? But at the same, like the things that bother me more are people that just like say unnecessary information that's not even trolling. It's just like why'd you feel the need to say that? Like what? Like some person was like, no, I was going to say a situation and then I just decided, you know what? I'm not even going to, because it's just going to bring more attention to the situation. It's just things like commenting on little things that just like don't matter. That's the kind of stuff that annoys me more, because it's like, why are you even leave that comment? That's so unnecessary and so dumb. But, yeah. So as far as like confidence to keep, filming, I think that was the question, right? Having confidence to keep making videos, that is a roller coaster, because we're humans, we go through a lot, and especially like this last year, you guys saw like I was very inconsistent because I was like going through some like personal stuff. But for me, something that's helped is not overly scheduling myself so that I leave room for creativity and to have fun with it, because I love to plan. It's one of my favorite things to do. If I could plan out my whole month of the calendar, I have so much fun doing that and thinking of ideas and whatever. But I tend to, that almost gives me a temporary sprinkle of dopamine to where it almost already feels like I've done all of that. So then I get overwhelmed when it comes to actually executing those things. So, and then it makes it not so fun anymore. So what I've been doing lately is only scheduling out a week ahead of time and having like a rough idea for the month of like, these are the videos that I want to do, or this is like my calendar with my personal life, whatever. And then just only scheduling out strictly just the week that I'm in right now. That seems to be really helping me. And as far as like confidence to keep filming, I think it becomes second nature. If someone asks me something about like working out and like staying motivated with working out as well, I never have like motivation to work out. It's just I get into a routine and like it just becomes second nature. So it's kind of the same thing with like filming videos. It just, an object in motion stays in motion. So the more I do it, the easier it gets, and then the more you just keep doing it. So it's just when I get in a bad mindset or if something happens in my personal life, I end up falling off so hard that it's like it's so hard to get back on with filming videos, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. If something's bothering me, you can tell. And I've had some comments sometimes when I take breaks. They're like, that's nice, like that you can take a break. At normal jobs can't do that. If I worked a normal job, like which I have in the past, I've worked retail at Sephora. I was a manager. When I was going through stuff in my personal life there, which I was going through some major shit when I worked in retail, when I went to work, I could turn it off. It was like, okay, I'm manager right now, I'm customer service right now, and I could delete my personal life from my brain because I had to be at work, and I could just help other people do what I needed to do at work. And then it was like, okay, work is off. When I checked out, when I clocked out, work was done. It was like, I don't have to worry about work. Let me go worry about my personal life. It was a separation where when you have, I'm going with my cream bronzer. When you're online, it's a very personal thing, especially with this job. So it's like, if I'm going through something personally, I can't just come on here and be like, okay, I'm going to do my makeup, because it's very personal. And the line between work and life is so blurred. So there's no like turning one off and turning on the other. You can set those boundaries sometimes, but it is very tricky. So yeah, all in all, it's just, I think it's good to go through those things, because I'm learning a lot with each trial and with each obstacle that I go through. So for now, it's just, I'm always figuring it out, I guess. I don't think I have like an answer for like the right way to do things or how I stay consistent, but right now I'm just kind of riding this wave, and this new scheduling thing is really helping me. And as far as confidence goes, I don't really know. I guess I didn't really think that I had confidence with filming, but I never really felt that I didn't either. I never really thought of it that way. But yeah, I hope that long-winded answer was helpful. Someone just asked me, what's my favorite song from the new Taylor Swift album? Which I love that she asked that because the album literally launched this morning and I've listened to it at least 3 times through. I think my number one favorite song is The Great War. I really like that one. I do also really like Anti-Hero or Anti-Hero. I like that one. I love the one with Lana Del Rey. Lana is just like one of my favorites. She has like the best voice. Her and Adele. Yes. That's Snow on the Beach. I love that one. And I like Labyrinth. Yeah, I think The Great War might be my favorite. I think it's got a nice little beat to it. I got a question about natural cycles. How's it going? She really wants to start, but she's nervous. And it's funny because I had a couple other people ask me about natural cycles recently. So natural cycles is the birth control that I use, which I'm not even on birth control. I've never taken birth control. Basically what it is you track your temperature every single day and you put it in the app. You track your period. You can track your ovulation, track everything in the app. And it just basically tells you when you're fertile and when you're not, so then you know when to use protection and when you really don't have to. Because there's really, I think, 5 days out of the month that it's even possible to get pregnant. So I never went on birth control because still to this day, I have not met one woman who has been on birth control and is like, I've never had a problem. I've never met anybody. Almost everybody that I've met that has talked about birth control, they have some sort of crazy ass issue, or they have ovarian cysts, they have pain, one got lost, like just a whole bunch of crazy stuff, along with mood swings, weight gain, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. I understand some people there are women out there that do have a good experience with birth control. I've just never met anybody personally, and there's a lot of women in my life. So I was just afraid to ever go on it, and I'm glad that I never did. And as I got older, I found natural cycles, and it's great. I love it. Right now, we've just been using it for preventing pregnancy, but I think you just have to be consistent with it, just like you would with taking a birth control pill. You just do it every day. First thing in the morning, you take your temperature. So I also I take some LH tests, which is the same way that you would track your ovulation if you were trying to get pregnant. And if you are trying to get pregnant, you can use the app as well. It's the same way that you would try to get pregnant is the same way that you can try to not get pregnant. So, and at any time you can switch it if you are trying to get pregnant, all of that. It's so funny because I've talked about this before and someone was like, this is not a new thing. Like, I've been doing this for years. This is like practice for whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the point. That is the point in the whole idea, is that tracking your cycle is like the way that women have done this for centuries. So yeah, natural cycles didn't like invent tracking your period, but it is nice to also track your temperature because then it can be very, very specific. And this app, between tracking my periods, my ovulation, and my temperature, that app is so freaking accurate. I can plan out my life because everything is to a T, because I'm very consistent. And I think like you just have to be consistent to get the right results, but it's great. I don't have to take anything. I've really been liking it. I've been using it since, I think, beginning of 2020. So we're going on, it'll be 3 years that I've been using it this winter. So I've really been liking it. After I talked about it a couple of times, they reached out to me to do a sponsorship. I've done one sponsorship with them, and that's it. So this isn't sponsored. It's just I've been raving about them, and then they wanted to work with me, which was great. But yeah, just letting you know, just for transparency, that I have worked with them in the past, but that doesn't like, I hate when I talk when I'm right here. But yeah, just letting you know that. Someone asked how old I am. I'm 30. What color scheme are you doing for Christmas this year? Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited for Christmas. I know it's early. You know what? I get excited for holidays early. I'm doing the same thing I did last year. I went on my YouTube channel to find inspiration for Christmas this year, like from my channel, just to see what did I do last year. I totally forgot last year I started filming a decorate with me video, and that's when I started to feel depressed and I stopped halfway through filming that video last year and I just pitched it, never edited it, never finished editing it. I finished decorating without filming, and like, I don't know, that day specifically is like when I started to like go through some changes. I know, weird. But since the last video that is on YouTube of me decorating my house, my style has changed just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more nostalgic. I'm not the kind of person that goes out and like changes their theme every year. That's wasteful. Right? Like I'm gonna use my shit. And if I don't use it, I'm gonna donate it. I can't imagine just doing a full new theme unless you rotate your themes. Like I can see that. Like if you do a rose gold theme, then the next year you do like a white theme, and then you do a traditional theme, but then you rotate and you go back to the rose gold. I get that. But like I am not gonna do like a brand new theme every year. I didn't know that was a thing until I started watching YouTube videos and I was like, wow. Y'all really do that. I'm gonna powder my face really quick. But yeah, so my theme is just cozy, nostalgic, but expensive. Like if you go on Pottery Barn's website, like their whole vibe, all of them I'm obsessed with. So that's kind of the vibe. I kind of mix a couple different styles together. It's still modern and like classic, I think, but it's also very cozy, but I started adding in red and green last year. So I'm excited to film my Decorate With Me this year. I will be filming it, I think, the second week of November. So yeah, that's my theme for Christmas in the gist. Which, by the way, so yesterday I was having a really bad day, which I'll tell you in a second why. But to make me feel better, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Target. I just wanted to go look at Christmas decor. And because like I told you earlier, I love planning. And so I was like, let me just plan everything. I was like, I just don't think that Target's going to have their stuff out because I feel like they're very true to the seasons where if it's Halloween, they're going to have Halloween out. If it's Christmas, then they'll have Christmas out. And like, I feel like they're kind of like the last out of all the stores. I walked in and they had Christmas and I was so excited. It made me so happy. But yeah, I was in a bad mood yesterday because if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this, but basically I always do tap to cleans, like tap to clean my house, and you guys really seem to love that. So I did a tap to do my toes because I have not gotten my toes done. I have not gotten a pedicure in so long. And then I recently found out that the place that I was going was like not good. They've given like infections and like had to close down a bunch of times, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go back. But so I did a tap to do my toes, and anytime I show my feet online, you guys are so fucking funny. My DMs always get flooded with, why are you giving that out for free? Blah, blah, blah. Just joking around about feet. It's just funny. So anyways, I did tap to do my toes, and on the second slide where I show the after of my toes, I put free feet pics as a joke. Instagram not only takes down my story, which fine, you want to take down my story, I don't care. But they banned my Instagram to where I wasn't able to use it for a couple hours. They took away monetization because I recently got approved to make money on my reels, which the way that they even did that pissed me off because it was like only for a certain amount of time that I could get paid for reels. So they're basically trying to like push their creators to post as many reels as possible. So anyways, I was hustling with that, trying to see how that would work with my business. But it also took away paid promotions or they also took away the option for me to do paid partnerships, which is how I make an income on Instagram. So if a brand wants to work with me and promote a product on Instagram, technically I can't do that on Instagram until end of January over a joke. And there's nobody to talk to. I reported it, but it only gave me one option for reporting. It said, tell us if we made a mistake. And so I put report a problem. That's all it let me do. It only let me click that one thing. And then overnight they reviewed it and it still stands as is. They still think that that was inappropriate and wrong and it went against their community guidelines. It's like impossible to talk to anybody. There's like not a direct email. You don't have an account manager. You don't have anybody to talk to. So I went looking around on my settings and I went to report a problem with my account and I explained the situation. And I'm just waiting to hear back. It's been 2 days now. So yesterday I was just in a really bad mood because it's like, what the heck? Like, that's what's so scary about having a job on social media is while I'm in charge of my business and I don't have a boss, I'm my own boss, and I create my schedule and I put out all this stuff. At the end of the day, an app like that can be like, nope. And that's why part of why I'm not even gonna go on TikTok. First of all, I just don't like fast short form video content. But also, I know 3 people personally that have had their accounts taken down, and they create content on there. So you're gonna put in all of this effort and all of this work and create content and build a business on a platform for then the platform to be like, bye, we decided that you did something wrong. And the other thing is, I'm fine with getting a strike. Cool, I get it. I made a joke. I made a sexual, by the way, it was for sexual activity. First of all, my feet. I get it. You have a problem with it. It goes against your guidelines. Fine. Give me a check mark. Like, whoop, strike, and then a certain amount of strikes. Then you get money taken away for 3 months. I just think it's ridiculous and it's a joke. And if someone could actually talk to me, like, we'd figure it out, I'm sure, because that's just ridiculous. Anyways, I'm pissed. Sorry for my rant, but like, what the fuck? A Good American Jeans versus Abercrombie. I would say if you had to pick, I like Abercrombie. I like the quality better. I think Good American is nice, but they're definitely more stretchy. Where Abercrombie, they fit and they stretch, but it's more like real jeans material and not like stretchy legging type material, you know? So yeah, I think I like Abercrombie better, and you can pick your lengths and everything. Someone asked me what's my backup after social media. I don't have one. This is my job. Like, I don't have anything else going on. Like, I'm just planning on this, which is also kind of scary, especially with the story I just told you. But yeah, no, I don't have like a backup. Have you always wanted to be an influencer? I'm starting to get into it and love it. The short answer, no, because when I started doing this, there was no such thing as an influencer. I started this 10 years ago. That wasn't a thing. It wasn't like people, that term didn't get coined until much later. So I'm going to say no. Yeah, when I started, it was just a fun hobby. It was like, let me just show my makeup online. This is fun. And at the time, I had a full-time job. I was a full-time manager at Sephora. So it was just kind of like a fun thing that I did that turned into a career. So short answer, no. And honestly, I think if I would have known when I got into it what it would evolve to. Let me just preface it with, I'm glad that I did, because I do love my job and I love my life. I love the career that I've built. But had I known all of the work and effort and that would go into it and become what it was, I probably wouldn't have started. Also because I'm not a very public person. I am very private, so that's been hard to navigate, but I think the hard work would have scared me and turned me off. That's what I mean. But that's why it's good that you can't like see your future, you know? But all in all, I'm glad I did, because a lot of good has come out of it, and I do love my job and I love doing this and stuff, but I just think like if I would have known, like starting it now, knowing what it is, because I just think it's more common now. People do People do this all the time for work now, where when I first started, it was weird. It was like, you're doing what online? Actually, when I first started, or actually wasn't when I first started, it was a couple years in, some girls from high school put my YouTube videos up on a TV at a party and made fun of me after I left the party. They once I left this party, they put my videos up and made fun of me and stuff, because at the time, it was weird what I was doing, putting my makeup on camera and talking and whatever. It was weird. I mean, it still is weird if you think about it, but it's just more common now. So I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, I just think now it's more well known what it means to be a creator online, where when I started, there weren't brand deals. There weren't multiple streams of income and ways to make money online. It wasn't about like the algorithm. There wasn't like an algorithm or a known algorithm when I started. So now it's more intimidating because there's like all of these things to think about. But I think like what's really helped me, because I've gone through a lot of just battling with what this has become. What's really helped me is just going back to like why I started to begin with, was because I enjoyed creating content. I enjoyed makeup. Now my interests have changed a little bit. I still enjoy makeup, obviously, but just getting back to the core of like creating content because I like it and because I'm having fun, and not getting too sucked into what's going to perform well. What's my engagement? What are my analytics? What should I need to be doing reels and this and this and this? It's like some of that's good and I get it, but I have a very creative personality. That shit has like broken me down and put me in a place where like I didn't enjoy creating content because I was too sucked into all of this nonsense that never even existed when I started. So I had another question about, is it too late to start social media and like advice and stuff? And I just think at the end of the day, I tell everybody this when they ask me about social media advice for creating content. Whatever you put out, have fun doing it, and only put out content that you truly enjoy doing and love the outcome. Like, don't half-ass something, because you're going to hate that. I look back at videos and I'm like, I hate that video because I know that I was going through a really hard time at that point and I hated my makeup look and I hated this. I can point out those videos specifically. So my advice is have fun doing what you're doing, because if you don't have fun doing it, what's the point? That's not a life to live. So enjoy the process and don't get sucked into the algorithm. You know what? I understand that there are techniques and ways to like get your shit out there. And if you want to go that route, that's fine. I don't think that there's a right or a wrong way. I just think it's more authentic when you're doing it the way that you want to do it, and just have fun. I know it's like so cheesy, but like truly, that's what I think. So no, I don't think it's too late to start a career. I think it's, there's so much more involved with it, but just have fun. Just have fun and create content because you enjoy creating it, and that will be read through the camera. People can see right through you, trust me. So if you are having fun doing what you're doing, that's infectious, and other people are going to enjoy that as well. So no, I don't think it's too late. Just don't get too sucked up into it, because that's what ruins the fire. Where are you from? Currently, I reside in Northwest Indiana, but I am from the suburbs of Chicago. But like, I never lived in the city. Favorite place I've ever visited, hands down, would be Alaska. Ruben and I went there for our anniversary, for our honeymoon last year. And hands down, the most beautiful place I've ever been. Just pristine and just like, it filled my soul, and I want to go back. I love it there. Ooh, if you could travel to any decade, past or future, what would it be and why? I love that question. It would definitely not be the future. Absolutely not. I mean, I think the 50s would be cool, but also I've always said that I think that I was born 10 years late. I think I should have been born in 1980 because I think that generation had the best upbringing. You're a kid in the 80s, think of that, kid in the 80s. Then you're a teen in the 90s, amazing. And then come 2000, you're in your 20s. How awesome would that be? I mean, I still got some of the 90s and I got the 2000s because I was born in 91, in case you're curious. But I just think they had the best generation there. I wish that I would have experienced the 80s because I think that would have been really cool. But yeah, if I had to go back just to travel to see what's going on, maybe the 50s, that'd be kind of cool. Just with the fashion, I think. Like, I want to see the fashion. But I don't know. With traveling back in time, there's a lot of cons with that too. So I don't know if I want to. How did the sweet pup end up yours? So, when we moved into our house, which some of you guys were saying you're new followers. Thank you for following, and I'm glad you're liking my videos. And welcome. So, my husband built our house, just he and his dad. And when we moved into it, the neighbors had this sweet, adorable dog, like the cutest thing in the world. And I remember thinking that she was like I thought she was a baby pit bull. She's not. So the neighbors had her, they actually found her in a dumpster downtown in Chicago and took her home. But they have so many kids, so many young kids, and their hands are pretty full. So she was always outside, not on a leash. We live on a very busy street, and so she would just always just come and run up on our back porch. She would run in the house, and I'd open the door, and I'd just let her in my house. And so one day we just asked if we could buy her from them. The parents said yes, but then the kids were just so attached to her, they didn't want to get rid of her. So they ended up saying no. And then for months, they just, like, the same thing kept happening where she'd be out all day, not on a leash, and just kind of come on our back porch. And then I just felt bad because, like, I just didn't want her to get hit by a car. There were multiple times where she almost did. And then finally, one day, it was in, I think, September of 2019, the one son who really wanted her came by and was like, okay, we'll give her to you. And then the swap was made. And so now I've got my little kid. She's my little daughter. I love her. And I get a lot of questions on what her breed is because she is kind of like a unique looking dog. She is mainly a wiener dog, but also a Shih Tzu. I think she's 25% wiener dog, 25% Shih Tzu, and then the other, like, I think it's like 50% is just mixed with like a bunch of random stuff. So I'd say mainly wiener dog and Shih Tzu. Okay, I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows because I cannot talk and fill them in at the same time. A lot of questions about kids and being a mom. I figured that's like number one for any woman who puts herself out there online. When are you having kids? I want them someday. I'm just not ready right now. That's kind of been my opinion on it for the last few years. It's so funny because anytime I talk about this, so many people will tell me, you'll never be ready. And it's like, that's different. Not being ready is different than not wanting them at the moment. Because not only do I not, actually, I think this might be the first time that I actually could feel ready enough. It just, I don't want that right now, you know? So there's a difference between feeling ready and the actual desire to have them, you know? So, because it just seems like anytime I talk with women in my personal life and I'm like, oh, I'm just not ready. Well, you'll never be ready. From now on, I'm just going to start saying, I don't want them at the moment because that's just it. That is what it is. At the moment, I'm not interested. I've had a couple questions in here about where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a big question. I have no clue. I kind of just like go with the flow. I honestly was just trying to like get through this year, which I don't think is like the best mindset to have, but like I just went through a lot of just personal changes within myself this year that I was just trying to navigate that. So as far as like planning out my life, that's just like not really on my list right now. I'm just kind of trying to be in the moment, I guess. Top 3 favorite podcasts to listen to. I love this question because I'm obsessed with podcasts. Right now I'm on a Skinny Confidential kick. I love that podcast. I love that Lauren and Michael just don't give a shit what other people think and they just interview who they want to interview. I just like that they put out stuff that they aren't afraid to share. Like they don't have a filter and they talk about health things that might be controversial. They talk about their opinions on just like politics and stuff and just the way that they're just very like, I don't give a fuck sort of attitude. I just love that. So I love listening to them. I love that Lauren always wants like the nitty gritty. She's just like, no bullshit, like break it down step by step. People want to know the nitty gritty. And so I really love them for that. I like the What We Said podcast. It's just JC and Chelsea. They kind of just like talk and have girl talk and just gab and whatever. And I love that. I love listening to podcasts where it's just like, it's just conversations. It's like one of my favorite things to listen to because then I feel like I'm hanging out with friends and I'm a part of a conversation. So another one that's kind of like that is At Home with Brad and Tiffany. That's Makeup by Tiffany's podcast with her husband. It's on Patreon. So I subscribe monthly to listen to it and they're just, I love them. They're just normal, real people just talking about stuff. And again, it's just like one of those podcasts where it's just like you're hanging out with a friend. So I really like that. I love Crime Junkie. I haven't found like another crime podcast that I really like. I do love Bailey Sarian, but I just don't, I think she's in a different category because she does YouTube videos and I like watching her talk about it. I just haven't found another crime podcast other than Crime Junkie that I just really enjoy listening to because I don't like it overly produced. I feel like Crime Junkie is as produced as I'd want, but then I found one, I don't know, it was a recommendation from somebody. And it was almost too underproduced. And I'm like, okay, well, I apparently have a sweet spot for crime podcasts. I didn't know that. Oh, and I've been listening to Back to the Beach with Kristen and Steven from Laguna Beach. I've been enjoying hearing their perspective because I watched Whitney Port and her husband react to The Hills and Laguna Beach on YouTube. And now it's so funny because once they did that, all of the other cast members are now doing their own thing. And I think that I like the way that Steven and Kristen are going about it, but it kind of sucks. No one's really given Whitney and her husband any credit, and they totally started this whole thing. But anyways, yeah, I just like hearing the behind the scenes of it because I really liked that show growing up, and just hearing more about how it was produced and just the behind the scenes of it's really interesting. I got a few comments saying that you just found my channel and you really like it. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm so glad you found my channel and that you're liking it. And one person asked me just like for like a little backstory on myself because she's new. So, give you a little backstory, I guess. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. I started YouTube about 10 years ago doing makeup. I'm like hating my makeup right now. Hold on. I need to like focus on it. I needed a little bit of brown. Growing up, I was a dancer. So I thought after high school that I was going to be a dance teacher, but I ended up working retail, moved up in retail and was a manager at Pink by Victoria's Secret, then Bare Minerals, and then Sephora, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. And then I left Sephora to work at MAC for 5 minutes. And then I ended up having some health problems that the location that I worked at for MAC, they were just like not cool with me having health problems, basically. That's a whole separate story. But I quit there because it was a really bad work environment. And then I went back to Sephora part-time. Like I literally only worked like 1 day a week. And then I quit and started doing YouTube full-time. So, yeah, I do a lot of makeup tutorials. And now as I'm getting older, I'm getting more into just a variety of different things. When I was working at MAC, I had some health issues, which I can get into in like a whole separate video and just go over all my health stuff because I realized like not everybody's into that. But because of that, I ended up changing up my diet, changing up my lifestyle, and changing up my life basically. And I found a way of eating that just like really helps me and makes it so that I can thrive. And so I'm really passionate about health and wellness now, and I'm going to be incorporating that more. So now in like my vlogs and stuff, I share a lot of like recipes and stuff, which I'm actually, a side note, I'm about to just keep it very simple with you because I feel like I was trying to like give recipes because a lot of you guys wanted some recipes from me. I'm not a very like recipe kind of person. I'm like a meat and vegetable kind of person. So I'm actually been kind of bloated the last 2 weeks because I was trying a bunch of different things and trying to like keep it interesting, and now I just need to bring it back to the basics, keep it simple, and show you like what I really do eat all the time instead of like trying new recipes and stuff. So yeah, I'm very into health and wellness. I'm into fitness. I'm on kind of like a fitness and health journey, which is kind of like a forever journey. And then what else? I recently started doing vlogs a lot more, and I want to keep doing that. I'm contemplating doing Vlogmas. I'm like really, I think I can do it, you guys. I think I can. I think if I want to like pre-film a couple of tutorials just to sprinkle in throughout the month, just so it's not only vlogs, but I think primarily I'd like to try vlogging every day. I think I can do it, you guys. I think I can. I've been thinking about it, and like, I don't know, I need to like not be so hard on myself because part of me was like, I don't want to like fail because then I'll just feel like a failure. But then I'm like, so what if I do? It's not a big deal, you know? I don't know. So I've been thinking about that. I enjoy reading. I like thriller books. I'd like to do some more reading videos. and talk about like my favorite books, or maybe do like a reading vlog or something. I don't know. So yeah, that's like me in a nutshell. I also really like board games, and no one around me likes board games, which makes me mad because no one wants to play board games with me. Will you be starting your podcast back up? Loved your vulnerability. Why is that so hard for me to say? Vulnerable. I really want to. So I started a podcast last fall and then fell off, and then started it again in the new year and then fell off. For me, it's really difficult because I have a hard time just like talking while I'm sitting here. I'm just like rambling. It's really difficult for me to like come up with a concept and talk about it by myself for 30 minutes to an hour. I just can't do that. And to me, it's also not that fun. Right now, it feels like I am having a conversation because you guys ask me questions and I'm answering them, but they're all very like much about me. Or like, I feel like a podcast should be about you. It should be more like, how can I help you? And I just find it so much easier to just have a conversation with somebody and share it. And that's kind of what I've always wanted it to be. Like I was explaining earlier, I love those like casual sit down conversations, like you're talking to a friend, and that's what I want. So I just kind of need someone to do it with, and I've been talking with my sister about doing it together. We just haven't really pulled the trigger on it. She also lives in Alabama, so it would all have to be like, there's just some logistics that need to be figured out. It's just, to be honest, it's just hard for me to open up. I think I'm just naturally like, I just don't share, and I don't realize that I'm not sharing. It's not that I'm just like not sharing on purpose. It's just that is just my personality. But at the same time, I feel like I am an open book. Like if you ask me certain things, I feel like I'm so contradicting myself right now because I'm like, I'm an open book, but like, I want to keep my relationship private. So I guess I'm not. I don't know. I will share. Like, I will tell you extensive information about, I don't know. There's certain things where I'm like, I'm an open book, but certain things that I'm very like private. So it's just easier for me to just bounce ideas off of somebody else and just have a conversation. And it's so much easier to be myself in those sort of scenarios because like, if I'm talking to you about makeup, which is what my channel has been for 10 years, there's only so much of me that you can even know and so much relatability that you can feel because I'm only talking about makeup. You know what I mean? Where if I'm talking about other things, naturally it's just going to be more relatable or just, I don't know. It's not even that I'm trying to be relatable. It's just I'm trying to like be more helpful in other areas other than just how to blend your eyeshadow. So to answer your question, I would like to start it up again. It's just figuring out the logistics of that. With that being said, let me know, please, down below what sort of topics you'd like me to cover on the podcast. Please don't say anything makeup related. That's not what the podcast is for. The podcast would be for like other things. It's so funny. Anytime I ask for, or I did in the past when I had my podcast, I would ask for podcast topics. So many people said makeup tutorials. I'm like, you didn't even read the question, did you? Like, that wouldn't make sense. It's audio. So I'm not going to talk about like makeup techniques on my podcast. But yeah, if you have anything that you would like to hear from me about, let me know. Because yeah, I want it to be something that would be more helpful for you. I want it to be less about myself. Hopefully me and my sister can get that figured out. For my lid, I kind of want to go into this. So beautiful! I'm gonna grab the Anastasia Glitter Adhesive. I'm so excited. I haven't done like a fun sparkly look in a hot minute. And now I'm gonna go into this. This is the Makeup Forever 109 glitter. It's kind of like a gold green. Like in some lights it's gold and in some lights it's green. This is literally exactly what I wanted. I am so excited. I love like tapering my glitter up into the crease and just like up. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. In my waterline, I want to try this Teddy eyeliner from MAC. It's kind of like a more purpley Costa Rica kind of vibe. So we're going to try that and see how that goes. This might be like one of my favorite looks. I'm I'm loving it. I just applied some lashes. I'll link them down below, and I'm going into Deep Taupe from Anastasia. I'm going to go into the Merit Lip Oil in Bel Air. These lip oils have just been my favorite recently. So I'm going to go and pop this on the top. Oh, yeah. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I think lastly, I'm just going to grab my Morphe setting spray. And that, my friends, is it for this video. This is the makeup look up close. I'm so in love with this. I'm definitely going to recreate this again because this is the perfect holiday look. I know we're still in fall. I know we still have like all of November left. But you know what I was just thinking about? Canada has their Thanksgiving beginning of October. That makes so much sense. I wish that our Thanksgiving was at the beginning of November, or because I like Halloween for what it is, and then I feel like we need Thanksgiving sometime, just like it's just so late. And like November 1st, I'm ready for Christmas. So anyways, side note, yeah, this obviously works for any time of the year. It works for fall, but like imagine this at a Christmas party. Ooh, it's just so pretty. I love it. You can pair this with like a red lip even, or just, you know, whatever, but I'm loving this glossy lip, this Merit lip oil. I'm obsessed with their products right now. They sent over a bunch of stuff for me to try. I'm working with them on a future video, and like I am just in love with a lot of their stuff. So you'll be seeing a lot more of that you'll be seeing a lot more of their stuff coming up soon, and just like in future videos to come, because I've found a lot of like staple favorites, but a lot of the questions were the same, so I hope that I answered them well. If you'd like another video like this, let me know, because this was very spur of the moment. I had to get ready, and then I was like, I also want to do some cool makeup, so I thought that this was like the perfect opportunity. So maybe we can plan out a Q&A further in advance so I can get more questions, because this was literally within like an hour and I decided to sit down and film. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for asking me your questions and actually like even being interested in me enough to like want to even ask a question. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you subscribing. Let me know what videos you want to see from me down below. They could be vlogs, they could be makeup, they could be fitness, they could be fashion. I do have 2 hauls coming up. Stay tuned. I had some requests for Sephora recommendations, so that's coming up soon too. Let me know your recommendations as well down below for that, because that sale is going to be here before we know it. But that's it. I officially have a sore throat. I'm not used to talking so much. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.